7. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Senate Democrats are pushing to reinstate veterans who were fired from the federal government without cause. Tech billionaire Elon Musk's mass firings with his DOGE initiative have affected about 6,000 veterans, make up about 30% of the federal workforce, according to the office of New Jersey Democrat Andy Kim. Trump advisor Alina Habba defended the firings last week, saying the White House cares about veterans but needs to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work. The stock market is having its worst start to a presidential term since 2009. As of Monday, the S&P 500 had fallen 6.4% since President Trump's inauguration. The top podcast of the year has been named at the iHeart Podcast Awards. Las Culturistas is hosted by actor, writer, and comedian Matt Rogers and Saturday Night Live cast member Bowen Yang.
Thank you so much to iHeart, to everyone who voted for us.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan. Or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
This is a Radio PA news update. A new bill proposed in Pennsylvania would ban firearms at polling places following the example of 11 other states. The bill, introduced by Representatives Tim Brennan and Mary Jo Daley, aims to address safety concerns, citing incidents of harassment and intimidation at polling locations. It would exempt law enforcement and military personnel on duty and allow licensed gun owners to keep their firearms in their vehicles. The bill is still in the early stages and has not been formally introduced yet. Republican concerns for state spending could block $50 million for Pennsylvania's home repair program, despite strong demand and bipartisan backing. The initiative, launched in 2022, aimed to help homeowners with major repairs but faced challenges securing funding in subsequent years. Governor Josh Shapiro has proposed a new program to replace the old one, building on past lessons. While the state has some of the oldest housing in the nation, with nearly 60% of homes built before 1970, the proposed funding would assist about 2,500 households annually. A new poll shows that most Americans oppose cuts to Medicaid spending, with 82% supporting keeping or increasing funding. The survey from KFF Health Organization found broad bipartisan support for the program, with 96% of respondents calling it important to their community. Notably, 67% of Republicans polled agreed funding should remain steady or grow, while 95% of Trump supporters also see Medicaid as crucial. The results suggest potential openness to changes in how the program is managed, but emphasize its vital role across political lines. S&P 500 futures were flat on Tuesday after a sell-off fueled recession fears. Dow futures rose slightly while NASDAQ 100 futures fell. Delta Airlines dropped 11% after cutting its profit forecasts, but analysts remain optimistic, citing strong payrolls and continued consumer spending. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Clyde's Grocery at Shady Grove has been serving the local area for over 60 years with quality meats and groceries. All of our meats at Clyde's Grocery are fresh cut daily. Our in-store deli features subs, sandwiches, and hot food. You will find a large selection of quality fresh baked bread, cookies, and cakes in our bakery. Klein's Grocery in Shady Grove, family owned and operated, where quality meats, great prices, and friendly service is a tradition.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. New exercise tool at a local park. Tell you about that in a minute. Well, fires continue to be a problem in the tri-state. Washington Township, Franklin County, has issued a burn ban. They issued that yesterday morning. According to the Washington Township Police Department, all open burning is banned in Washington Township. Starting yesterday, the ban for residents prohibited from starting and maintaining open fires without township approval. Approved fires must be in the vicinity of a water supply. Anyone responsible for a fire is also responsible for any damages during the ban. Meanwhile, the Franklin Fire Company in Chambersburg is urging people in the area not to burn until conditions improve. It's not a ban, but it is highly suggested. Meanwhile, after a short ban in Maryland, Washington County has lifted its burn ban that started about a week ago. Speaking of fires, yesterday morning there was a car fire at the intersection of Blue Spring and Corner Roads near Mercersburg. The MMP&W Fire Company was on the scene. They put the fire out. There were no other details. In other fire company news, the Greencastle Rescue Hose Company regular meeting is tonight. It'll include the memorial service that was postponed from last month for members that passed away in 2024. The meeting starts at 6:30 with a meal, and the program begins at 7:30. On Monday, Pennsylvania State Police arrested a man from Tennessee on attempted murder charges. During a high-speed chase on southbound I-81 in Franklin County, Bobby J. Wilson allegedly rammed his car into a police cruiser, causing the trooper to lose control, run down an embankment, and roll. It happened near the Marion exit. The trooper was trapped until EMS rescued him. Then, after crashing his vehicle, Wilson and his girlfriend passenger ran to a nearby home until troopers found them hiding in the attic. Wilson was charged with attempted murder of a law enforcement officer and various other offenses. The two remain in Franklin County Prison. In his monthly report to Greencastle Borough Council, Mayor Ben Thomas Jr. writes about a recent visit to Alliance Elevator Company on Nova Drive in Greencastle, talks about the recent Rescue Hose Company training, and other topics. That report is available on the Greencastle Borough website. So you need some exercise and fresh air without running or riding around a track or a trail? Hustle on over to the Antrim Township Park on Grant Shook Road and try out one of the new stationary bikes. There's a couple of them. They're free to use, and they track your distance, speed, and calories burned. I won't say anything. They are for use for those 13 and older. The story is online in the Echo Pilot. This is Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG. Get pedaling.
Do you have an aging loved one who needs a little or perhaps a lot of help in order to stay independently in their home? Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle can provide the help you need at affordable rates. Heritage can provide assistance to medical appointments, personal assistance, or medication reminders. Help can be provided for grocery shopping, light housekeeping, and meal planning. If you're looking for companionship for your aging loved one when other responsibilities require your time, Heritage In-Home Care can provide that. They have been serving Greencastle and surrounding communities since 2006. Personalized attention is provided for your aging loved one's specific needs, giving you peace of mind, knowing that they can stay in their home with all the care they need. Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle. You may obtain more information by calling 717-593-0242.
You need information. We have information. WRGG is your source for information. If you are looking for world and national news, we have it.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The U.S. Supreme Court is rejecting...
Want to know what's happening in the state? WRGG has you covered.
This is a Radio PA news update. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman...
If your interest is local news, this is the place. From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
An update on the investigation into the beating attack of a 12
Is local sports your thing? Then keep it tuned to WRGG. Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
Several Chambersburg softball players are recognized statewide.
State sports, we've got that covered.
The Phillies are back in the diamond tonight. The team squares off against the Dodgers.
And of course, weather.
WRGG weather. Now the weather forecast for WRGG. A heat advisory is in effect through 8 o'clock this evening.
News, sports, weather, and information all in one place at your information connection. 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Dry weather into Friday, showers Friday night through Sunday. For today, sunny skies, high around 71. Tonight, partly cloudy, though around 43. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high around 61. Wednesday night, increasing cloudiness, low around 44. And the outlook for Thursday, becoming partly cloudy, high around 69. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. Currently 41 degrees under clear skies in downtown Greencastle. Humidity at 78%. Record high for today, 79 degrees. In 2021, it was 2 degrees. In 1960 for the record low. Average temps for today between 29 and 49 degrees. The sun came up at 7:28 in the a.m., 7:13 in the p.m. is when it will set tonight, giving us it'll give us 11 hours and 45 minutes of daylight, which is pretty doggone good. I'll take that any day of the week. Well, I'll take more of that if you want to offer more, but we'll take what we can get, and that works out really well. It is the morning show. 42 degrees, by the way. Morning show with Greg Hoover and Bill Gore. Bill, I trust your day yesterday was a good one.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah,
very much so, yeah.
All right. Anything exciting on the morning show I missed because I wasn't out of bed? So.
I had my son Landon join me in the third hour, Greg, which starts at 8.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it does. In the third hour today, that same person that questions our hours, Rhonda, will be picking me up to take me to Hershey for another exam. I get exams all the time.
Of course, yes.
But this one's a sleep test. So
nice.
I don't know if I have to sleep or not. But if they want me to, I can oblige.
That's usually how it works.
I can do that. So we'll see what goes on with that one. So that's today. I'm not sure whether I will be here tomorrow or not, depending upon what all goes on today. But tomorrow is another big day here on the morning show. Of course, we have the top 5 at 7 on Wednesday, which will include our top 5 sad songs. I got them right here, Bill. Even if I'm not going to be here, I got them right here, and I'll see what I can do with them and get them to you guys. So that's all happening tomorrow, and then of course finishing out the week Thursday, it's Vern's Day. Vern McCauley at 8 a.m. His special guest will be Dr. Jeff Ott. So our guest brings a special guest. And then Jackie at the mic at 7. Friday is Jason Cabler at 7. The Mayor's Report at 7:40. Jed Hitz from Leg Up Farm will be with us in the 8 o'clock hour. And, of course, today, our special guest, it's Greencastle Police Chief Jason Batistic. So we're looking forward to all that. That's all happening right here at 93.7 WRGG. Now, let's see here. There was something. Oh, I know what it was. It was this.
World record.
So, well, there's different world records, many different world records. This one is a park in Japan has been officially named the world's smallest park, covering an area of just 2.5 square feet. So I don't think you can get a lot of people to gather around in that park, but it's near a town hall someplace over there, about an hour's drive from Tokyo. It was created in 1988 after a worker at the construction management division of the town returned from a trip to the United States. The worker had encountered Mill Ends Park in Portland, Oregon, which previously held the record at 3.1 square feet. So they wanted to create an even smaller park. How hard can that be? A team leader, so they put it together, and the park was completed in 1988, but the city didn't bring in a Guinness. A Guinness
World record
adjudicator to officially measure it until December. 88, 98. Wow, were they not proud of it or what?
I don't know.
They built it to have the smallest park, and it took 98, 08, 18. 37 years to get the record to go. However, the park has now been certified as the smallest in the world. We want to continue maintaining the park with the community. It's 2 feet. How what can you do? I don't get it. I don't get it. As well as creating a landscape that is more social media friendly so that even more people will find attractions of our town. You want to go to that small park? That's why I'm going to Japan. I want to see that small park. We could do that here. All it is it's bordered. It has 4 corners, and it has I don't know what. Look up small park. It's there. But however, it is our
world record
of today, believe it or not. So I don't know. In Tennessee, here's what's happening in Tennessee. Jason Kabler. Oh, wait. A man lying in bed was shot by his dog. Let this be a reminder to pet owners. Always buy the good treats.
I was just going to say that.
Well, Jason just heard this. He's writing a country song right now as we did that one. Elon Musk alleges that a massive cyber attack targeted his social media site, Twitter or X or whatever it is. It blew up just like, well, SpaceX rocket did. So it's a terrible joke, Greg. Sorry about that. Survey of iPhone users reveals that the iPhone is addictive. Normally I'd read a punchline here, but I'm too busy on my iPhone right now. I don't even have an iPhone. Do you have an iPhone, Bill?
No, I do not.
No. They're pretty snobbish people, those with iPhones.
Oh, my.
I have found out. You don't have an iPhone? No, I don't have an iPhone. I have it looks like, I don't know what it looks like, but it's not an iPhone. This is good to know. In case you ever wanted to go on a cruise, statistics show that in a given year, literally only one passenger out of 1 million falls overboard from a cruise ship. Roughly the same percentage that escape the cruise ship without getting diarrhea. It's the same percentage with that one. Just gotta be a little careful as it goes. I don't know. I've always said many times, if I go on a cruise and you hear reports of me falling over the cruise ship, please.
Oh, right away, yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
Contact Rhonda Hoover. She'll be on the cruise with me, don't get me wrong, but that's the one I suspect right there. I've let people know that many times. It just, makes sense, doesn't it? Police in the United Kingdom stopped a woman who was driving her minivan at 110 miles per hour. Well, a little late for school, I guess. I don't know. 110 miles per hour in a minivan. Okay, a study found that sugary drinks are more likely to lead to diabetes than any other sugar product. As a result, some are now calling for the purchase of Coca-Cola to come with a mandatory waiting period and background check. What's my little granddaughter? She calls it diabetes. Diabetes. She has diabetes. A study found that if you swallow, goes out to the Blair family. Study found that if you swallow a Lego figurehead, it takes about 2 days for it to show up. Well, you know where. I don't know what the information is necessary for, but I guess if you're maybe like going to a bar and having a bet, hey, eat this. I'll bet you. How long do you think it's going to take to go through the system? I don't know. Really. So we'll find out. Well, no, we won't find out. Unless we get a volunteer here on the morning show to do that. I am not volunteering to do that one at all. So I don't like stepping on Legos, let alone doing anything else with a Lego. Dry weather into Friday, showers and Friday night through Sunday. Sunny skies today, highs around 71, partly cloudy. Highs around 43 tonight, not too bad. Wednesday going to be partly cloudy, only 61 degrees. And then increasing cloudiness, lows around 44 Wednesday night. Thursday becoming partly cloudy, highs around 69 degrees again. And that is where we're at with the weather forecast. Again, the temperature is sitting at 42 degrees at 93.7 WRGG. As we mentioned, Bill, tomorrow it will be our sad songs, our top sad songs, which I'm finding there's more sad songs out there than there really needs to be.
Oh, my goodness,
there's tons of them out there.
And I'm wondering perhaps if there might be a bit of perspective. What somebody might find, one person might find sad, somebody else might not.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 that I'll narrow down to 10.
Very nice.
Yeah, and as I said, I may not be here tomorrow, but that being said, I still going to present my. It was my idea, so I almost feel guilty about not presenting my my sad songs. That's what I wanted to say. I was just having a struggling time saying that. So sad songs tomorrow at 7 o'clock right here, 93.7 WRGG. And speaking of someone Well, he's just sad.
Birthday club, the birthday club. Everybody celebrates the birthday club on WRGG.
Starting back in 1738 with the birth of Benjamin Tupper, Continental Army officer who fought during the French and Indian War. He also assisted General William Shepard in suppressing Shays' rebellion, and he helped settle Ohio. He established Marietta, Ohio, the first permanent settlement that was then known as the Northwest Territory. David Horsley was born this day in 1873. He was an English-American director and producer who founded Nestor Film Company, which established the first studio in Hollywood. He then went on to co-found Universal Pictures. Shemp Howard, born this day in 1895. American actor and comedian, member of the Three Stooges, of course. Birth name was Samuel Horwitz. Shemp was Moe's brother, and he was a member of the Three Stooges from 1923 to 1932, and then from 1946 to 1955.
They were around a long time, weren't they?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And poor Shemp, I mean, everyone loved Curly.
Right.
Yeah. Shemp sort of took his place. Wasn't Shemp's fault. Curly had a stroke.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, if you get hit in the head that many times with a hammer, you're going to have a stroke.
Yes.
It's quite obvious.
1898 saw the birth of Dorothy Gish, American actress, star of silent screen, along with her sister Lillian Gish. Her stage acting led to her induction into the Theater Hall of Fame. Her films include Orphans in the Storm, An Unseen Enemy, and Hearts of the World. 1903 saw the birth of Lawrence Welk, American accordion player, band leader. Of course, he hosted Lawrence Welk Show, which ran from 1951 to 1982. He and his wife Fern were married for 61 years, from 1931 until his death in 1992. 1926 saw the birth of Ralph Abernathy, American minister and activist. He was a friend and mentor to Martin Luther King Jr. and a co-founder of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. 1934 saw the birth of Sam Donaldson, American journalist. He was on ABC News from 1967 to 2013, White House correspondent from 77 to 89, and then again from 98 to 99. Bobby McFerrin, born this day in 1950, American singer, songwriter, producer, and band conductor, 10-time Grammy Award winner. Of course, best known for his big hit in 1988, Don't Worry, Be Happy.
They always list him as a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
But he
was
so much more than that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Jerry Zucker, born this day in 1950, American director, producer, and screenwriter. He directed Airplane, Top Secret, Ghost, which was actually Best Picture nominee, as well as Ruthless People and First Night. Jimmy Iovine, born this day in 1953, American record producer, businessman, co-founded Interscope Records and Beats Electronics. That was with Dr. Dre. Started as a sound engineer working with John Lennon and Bruce Springsteen in the early 1970s. He's been involved in the production of over 250 albums. It's amazing, too. You go through your collection, you see his name on so many of them.
Not knowing that, yeah.
Anissa Jones, born this day in 1958, American child actress. Of course, she was Buffy on Family Affair from 1966 to 1971. She was also in films like The Trouble with Girls. That was along with Elvis. Of course, died of an accidental drug overdose at the age of 18 in 1976. Peter Berg, born this day in 1964. He's an American film director, producer, writer, and actor. As an actor, he's appeared in films like Copland, Late for Dinner, A Midnight Clear, Collateral, and TV Chicago Hope. As a director, he's directed Spencer Confidential, Mile 22, Patriots Day, Deepwater Horizon, Lone Survivor, Friday Night Lights, and The Rundown. Thora Birch, born this day in 1982. American actress, known for playing Jack Ryan's daughter in Patriot Games and Clear Present Danger. Other films include All I Need for Christmas, Hocus Pocus, Alaska, and Ghost World. She recently had a recurring part on The Walking Dead. But, Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do. Not a big list today, however, it's still an important list. There's two listed for today. Catherine Kate Cradell with a birthday today, and Paula Gray is celebrating a birthday today. See Kate or Paula, tell them happy birthday. Tell them where you heard it, right here at 93.7 WRGG on a thing we call the Birthday Club on the morning show. Well, we don't call it all that. We just call it the Birthday Club. And if you'd like to get involved in the Birthday Club, the easiest way to do that is to go to our website and fill out the information provided there. It is seriously that simple. Get your name on so we can help celebrate your birthday right here at 93.7 WRGG and the Birthday Club. I'm Greg Hoover along with Bill Gore. Coming up just a second away. It is the worst story of the day. We'll do that one. And then in the 7 o'clock hour after the news, Jason and Chris join us. We'll be talking about our desert island whys.
Yes, indeed.
Why we do this thing. That's what I want to know. And that's coming up in the 7 o'clock hour right here. And, of course, as we have mentioned, Jason Batistic joining us for the police chief's monthly visit to WRGG. Now, we were talking about going to our webpage. Go to our webpage, WRGG.org. A couple things that can happen there. You can listen live to WRGG, or you can watch the morning show on WRGG. Many people were clamoring for this. Okay, I don't know of anyone, but you can if you want to, and go to WRGG.org, click on Watch Live. Now, if you missed the show, or say the last hour or the first hour, for me it'd be the first hour, you can go back, simply do the same thing. Click on Watch Live after we're all done live, and then you'll see the archives of all our shows that we have done to this day, but it's not all of them. It's just a few of them. And that's the morning show. Not only did they say it wouldn't last now, it just won't go away. So there you have it. It's the morning show.
And I actually have a number of people who've said to me over the years, including my friend Joanne, not so much wanting to watch it, but wanting to listen to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, previous episodes. So this is great.
Well, we hope so. And I even took a shower today because I got up early. I took a shower because I'm going to Hershey, and you don't want to go in there with messed up hair and not smelling like you should. So,
no, of course.
Yeah, because they won't have you back. That's what'll happen there. So every now and then, we find a story that isn't very good. And I title it The Worst Story of the Day. And this one, here it is. A bizarre incident unfolded at Epcot in Disney World in Orlando when a guest reportedly defecated on the wall and floor while waiting in line for the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind ride. A TikTok video captured the aftermath, showing other guests covering their noses and faces as they passed the scene. Initially mistaken for a deliberate act, it was later revealed that the incident occurred due to a burst colostomy bag. A burst. I didn't know they burst. That's bad. That's sad. Bad. Not good. Not good. So
must have been full.
Must have been full. That's why it burst. I guess you got to empty. Those lines are long in Disney, so you got to prepare ahead. Not that I would be prepared ahead. And this is also the worst story of the day. Why this happens in life, I don't know. On Saturday, chaos erupted at the CarMax dealership in Inglewood, California. A disgruntled customer plowed his vehicle into the building. The incident left 8 individuals wounded. The driver fled the scene only to turn himself in a short time later. Customer had been getting his vehicle appraised at the dealership, according to CarMax. Witness said the customer apparently didn't like the offer, got back into his parked car. After a couple attempts, he drove through the front door. Now his car is not going to be worth anything. I should have saved that for stupid stupid does, but I did not. So there it is. 2 of the worst stories of the day right here. Here's your number for the day, by the way. This is amazing. 60,000. That's the number. The amount of food in pounds you'll eat in your lifetime. And unfortunately, a lot of those pounds have stayed with me during my lifetime. So 60,000 pounds of food will, like I said, stay with you, or not stay with you, but you have eaten in your lifetime. Some more, some less. I guess that's how it goes. It's always that way. It's how it goes with that. So that being said, we're heading up to the 7 o'clock hour. Don't forget, we'll start it off with news at 7. Right after 7 o'clock, the news and weather, we will welcome Jason Kabler and Chris Palladino to the fold, and then we'll do our Desert Island Disc thingamajiggy. It's all coming up right here at 93.7 WRGG and The Morning Show. Stay close, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together.
Right here, 93.7 WRGG. And speaking of someone, well, he's just sad. Just sad.
Downtown Greencastle. We are 93.7 WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Senate Democrats are pushing to reinstate veterans who were fired from the federal government without cause. Tammy Trujillo with more.
Tech billionaire Elon Musk's mass firings at the Department of Government Efficiency have affected about 6,000 veterans. They make up about 30% of the federal workforce. That's according to the office of New Jersey Democrat Andy Kim. Trump advisor Alina Habba defended the firings last week, saying the White House cares about veterans but needs to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work.
The stock market is having its worst start to a presidential term since 2009. According to Dow Jones market data, stocks suffered their weakest first 50 days of a presidency since Barack Obama's first term. Brian Chung with more.
You see what's happening on Wall Street. We've erased all the gains that we've had year to date in 2025. We are now negative for the year on the Dow Jones. And I think that underscores the Wall Street concerns that we could be increasing the odds of a recession.
As of Monday, the S&P 500 had fallen 6.4% since President Trump's inauguration on January 20th. Elon Musk says Arizona Senator Mark Kelly is a traitor after Kelly visited U.S. ally Ukraine. Ryan Shook reports.
The Democrat posted photos of his visit on X on Sunday. Musk, the tech billionaire who owns X, replied to the thread. Kelly, who's a former Navy pilot and astronaut, responded to Musk saying, "If you don't understand that defending freedom is a basic tenet of what makes America great and keeps us safe, maybe you should leave it to those of us who do."
The top podcast of the year has been named at the iHeart Podcast Awards in Austin, Texas. Las Culturistas is hosted by Saturday Night Live cast member Bowen Yang and actor, writer, and comedian Matt Rogers. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Cool, refreshing spring water and delicious hot coffee or tea. Always conveniently single-serve dispensed to the touch. Available from Tobin-Hawken Mountain Spring Water and Mountainside Premium Coffee. Located on Antrim Way South in Greencastle. For delivery to your home, office, shop, or place of business, a call to Tobin-Hawken at 717-261-5955 will assure you of thirst-quenching water, coffee, and tea. Delivered to where and when you want it. Thanks to Tobin-Hawken Mountain Spring Water for their continued support of WRGG Radio.
For a quick pick-me-up for one, or to treat the entire team after a big game victory, Mikey's Ice Cream has been a favorite local stop for decades. A delicious sandwich, a light snack, or a refreshing drink always hits the spot when it comes from Mikey's. And your favorite ice cream flavor will taste even better in a Mikey's homemade waffle cone. Always a relaxed family atmosphere, Mikey's Ice Cream and Green Cow Gift Shop, a proud supporter of WRGG, is conveniently located at 179 South Antrim Way, Greencastle.
Oh, the birds are chirping, days are warming, and more daylight each day. Yes, it's the perfect time to stock up on all your spring planting needs. Lumber Direct has onion sets and a wide variety of vegetable packets. Everything to ensure a bountiful, beautiful garden. Lumber Direct has mulch, bagged and bulk. There's everything you'll need for spring cleanup in the home and out in the yard. There's a great array of quality Vaspar paints, perfect for any job, indoor or outside. Lumber Direct, 10 East Water Avenue in Greencastle. Lumber Direct, a proud sponsor of WRGG and many other Greencastle Antrim community projects. If you missed the morning show the other day, well, let's be honest, you really didn't miss much. Do want to thank the following. Well, it is the morning show. We do it 6 a.m., 9 a.m. Got to tell you, it doesn't get much better than this.
We vehemently apologize for that, but you should have saw it coming. Don't blame us.
Well put, Vern. Well put.
The morning show on WRGG. WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Dry weather into Friday, showers Friday night through Sunday. For today, sunny skies, high around 71. Tonight, partly cloudy, though around 43. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high around 61. Wednesday night, increasing cloudiness, low around 44. And the outlook for Thursday, becoming partly cloudy, high around 69. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. Currently, it is 42 degrees in downtown Greencastle with the humidity sitting at 81%. Record high for today, 79 degrees. That happened back in 2021. It was only 2 degrees on this date in 1960 for the record low. Average temps for today between 29 and 49. Sun will make an appearance at 7:28 and set at 7:13. That'll be 11 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. Again, temperatures at 42 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
Now back to the morning show on 93.7 WRGG.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the morning show, the most listened to hour of the morning show, and the longest hour of the morning show to boot. You know, we all have suffering in our life. Let's get it over with here on the morning show. And particularly during this segment when we welcome in Jason Kabler and Chris Palladina, I'll do it like this. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Chris is in the African desert, or has he shrunk? Is he like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Okay. Yeah, for those of you that can't see, Chris is it looks like he's about the size of an ant, and there's grass all around him, and I feel scared for you, buddy.
I am hiding down in the weeds.
That's
well,
smart.
I don't blame you.
I
don't blame you. Sort of like I thought at first he was on the desert island that we're going to, but not the case. That is this segment of the radio program. We have embarked, the four of us, on a trip, and somehow we going to land on a desert island. We know this before we go,
of course, yes.
Because we're taking our favorite
JetBlue
plane, yes, or what was the one, the Malaysian one. And we're
Malaysian Airlines, yes.
But we know we're going, so we're taking our favorite musical act with us. We can only take one from A through Z, so we'll end up with 26 there. And we usually differ a little bit, so I think this time I'm going to guess Chris and I are going to have the same one at number 1.
I'm guessing that too.
Yeah. So I don't know what Jason will have, but we'll start with Jason Kabler.
When you think about it, if you think about it at all, you're easily going to know my number one. I'm bringing Weird Al Yankovic.
Are you really?
I thought
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Such great. He's one of only 3 artists to have number one since the last 4 decades or something like that, behind Madonna and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, there he is. He's the stud.
And I mean, just so many studio albums, and you get a taste for everything. If you feel like hearing Dire Straits, you just pop in Beverly Hillbillies. You know, if you feel like hearing Coolio, you pop in Amish Paradise. It's a great. You got Tacky. You got all these great songs, and Chris laughing. The guy's a genius. He really is. He's Weird Al is not only a musical genius but business genius. He took playing the accordion and turned it into.
Well,
he made cameos in The Naked Gun, which was a great cameo if you haven't seen that, where Leslie Nielsen's getting off a plane and he thinks that there's a big crowd, everyone thinks he's there to see him, and he's like, no, Weird Al's just landed, and it shows Weird Al getting off a plane. It's just he really is a cultural icon. You know, people like Kurt Cobain of Nirvana basically said that they came up with the Nirvana, the Weird Al bump. That anytime he does one of their songs, they get a bump in their original sales. And almost everyone thinks it's basically you haven't made it in the music business unless Weird Al has done one of your songs.
All right. Very good. He's taking Weird Al with him, Chris. So
well, Weird Al is great, but he's never written a MacArthur Park.
He wrote Jurassic Park.
Someone let the cake out in the rain when it wasn't Weird Al.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that. If you want to hear MacArthur Park, you even got that with Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's what he did do that, huh?
He did, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if someone would check my text I sent to you guys, they would know.
I didn't get a text.
Yeah, you
from
also mentioned it on the show last time. Yeah. You
Yep,
did
yep.
mention it. Yeah, you did send us a text. That was great.
Oh, okay.
So-
Chris, go ahead.
Let's hear it, Chris.
My favorite Y artist would be Yes.
Yes.
And I won't mention my second one because it could be somebody else's pick. But the band started out in 1969 with the first album. They were actually recorded by Apple Records, the Beatles record label, and chose to sign with Atlantic Records, and continued to this day. They've I don't know how many group albums they've had over the years, but they've still got a active fan base that support them, go see their shows every year. They're still out there playing, and they would be my favorite Y artist.
Wow, that's not who I thought it'd be.
Oh, that's who I thought it would be, which really gives mine away at the same time. So mine is Yes, of course. The things they've done musically, I don't know. It's just they're just really, really good. They're great musicians, and they really have played very well. Chris, have you seen them in concert?
I've seen Yes. Probably 7 or 8 times as a group, but I've gone to see a lot of the solo shows as well. I think that Steve Howar's one of my favorite guitarists of all time. Obviously, John Anderson, a great vocalist. Rick Wakeman is a real character. He's a great keyboard player and a very funny guy who likes to tell stories when he does solo shows.
Nice.
I won't go on and on, but I really love Yes.
Now,
I love solo shows where they do that, where you really get to know the people.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you get backstage to see them? Anybody?
I did. I snuck backstage at the Hershey Arena one time, and then I've met them individually a couple times, different members of the band. But yeah, I've got some autographs and a couple of stories to go with them.
Okay, very good. Well, Bill, it comes down to you because I said I'd had the same as Chris. I do. Yes is the band, not to be confused with No.
Now,
I thought you guys were picking the Yardbirds.
I knew Jason would think that. Yeah. And I'm thinking that might be Chris's second. I'm thinking.
Well, is that your second, Chris?
Nope.
My second. My second is the Yardbirds.
Okay.
My second is the
Yardbirds.
Greg's.
Yeah. Now, Chris,
Bill.
Chris, were you a fan of Asia?
It's not as much as Yes, but yeah. I mean, there are aspects of Asia that I really like. I love all the people that play in it.
Absolutely, right. Yes, indeed. All right, mine. But first of all, my friend Joanne picked Trisha Yearwood.
Oh, okay, very good.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah.
X's and O's and Walk Away Joe. She's in love with
Absolutely.
I went with Dwight Yoakam, Kentucky native.
Oh.
17 studio
Another
albums.
good one.
Yes, indeed. Guitars, Cadillacs, et cetera, released back in 1986. His most recent was actually released just last year. And in between, my goodness, I look back at 86, that same year that he released his first album. Randy Travis released Storms of Life. Steve Earle released Guitar Town. Those are 3 of my all-time favorite albums. He's had 17 studio albums, 2 live albums. He's had 5 compilation albums, then the 46 singles, songs like Guitars, Cadillacs, I Sang Dixie, Streets of Bakersfield, which he did with Buck Owens. He did one called Beer Can Hill with Buck Owens and Merle Haggard, which is a great song. Turn It On, Turn It Up, Turn It Loose, Turn Me Loose, and Ain't That Lonely Yet, and so many other great songs. And then he's been acting too, movies like Sling Blade and Minus Man, Red Rock.
Panic Room.
Yes, indeed. Panic Room. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So and he's a
great actor.
Yeah, an actor as well. Yeah. Lost his hair somewhere along the line, but hey, that's the way it is. I'm trying to think if I met him or not, but I don't know if I did. But it runs in my mind I did. I don't know, but it's not the point. So, all right, Jason, what's left on your list?
Yanni.
Yes. Bring Yanni along in the magic flute or whatever it is he plays. What is it?
The pan flute.
Pan flute, yes.
Okay. The magic flute's
no,
better.
No. That Zamfir
Zamfir
was the one who played
Zamfir was the pan flute. Yanni had the porn stash.
Yes. And he was married.
Yes.
And he was Linda Evans of Dallas or whatever.
That's right.
You married her.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Chris is beside himself.
Yanni.
He just had
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Combination.
Yes. Anything else there, Jason, or is that it?
No, I did have Dwight Yoakam as one of mine because Fast as You is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, it's a great song. Yes, indeed.
And he also did a great Elvis song for the tribute for Elvis. He did that. Suspicious Minds.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. Yes,
Great
one
version
song
of
that
Suspicious
Elvis
Minds.
sang. That one song Elvis sang. What was it? Suspicious Minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, what else did you have on your list?
Well, I also like the Yardbirds as well. And another band that you go on and on about. They had three great guitar players, Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page.
Not at the same time. That's amazing.
Well, Page and Beck played together.
Oh, that's right.
They did the Page played bass one at first, and then they were dual guitar for a very short period of time. I love Swiss electronica band Yellow, and my number two would have to be Neil Young.
Oh, good one.
I forgot about Neil.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really extensive catalog.
Yes, he does. And many iterations of things,
Oh, absolutely.
whoever he's with at the time.
Yeah, Buffalo Springfield, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, a couple of combinations of artists, like Crosby and Nash and I don't know. There's just a whole bunch.
Yeah, it really is.
Sounds like a lawyer's firm, but yeah, Neil Young, even the solo stuff, and he's still putting out records. So he would be my number two.
Okay,
Very good.
That makes sense. You heard my number two, and that's all I had. I had those two, and I forgot about Yoakam, and I forgot about Trisha Yearwood because they're excellent artists as well. But Bill, what did you have as your non-number one?
Well, I would have Neil Young and Trisha Yearwood would be a close second to Dwight Yoakam. Of course, Neil Young also fellow Canadian, and a long career as well. Just and like Chris said, still putting out albums, still touring. I do like the fact he once referred to his band as the world's third best garage band.
After who?
I don't know.
He didn't list. Okay,
he was just
because there's a lot could fall into that classification.
Exactly. And then I'd put Yes and the Yardbirds on any list as well. Yes, indeed. And if the Youngbloods had recorded, had a deeper catalog, they had a couple of good songs, but if they had a deeper catalog,
hey, you only need one good one.
That's right. Yes, yes, Mr.
Wild
Cherry.
Wild Cherry.
Coming up here in a couple of weeks, there's an episode of the Full Song of the Week where I do a great Youngblood song called Darkness. That was probably coming up in about a month.
All right. Very good. You're that far out on them. Good.
Wow.
I am 7 weeks ahead on This Week in Rock and Roll History and the Full Song of the Week.
Okay.
Very cool.
Because I don't even have tomorrow. I don't even have the next hour ready yet here on the morning show. But hey,
He hasn't made up the countdown yet in the next hour.
there you got it. That was the letter Y. That took a little less time than normal with that. And then that brings us next week to the end of the road, Z, and then I guess we're done on the desert island. Do we get to come home? I'm just. How's this work, Jason?
Well, Chris suggested, and I like it, that after that we're going to go and each week we're going to talk about our top. Did you say 20? 20 songs.
Is it top 20? I can't remember exactly what the number was, but if we did 10, of course that would take us 6 weeks.
We can do top 10.
Chris originally proposed 10.
Let's do 10.
Okay. Well, let's
if
do
we
top
like
10.
It, we'll move forward.
But I do have an idea for in between Desert Island and top 10 is I thought it would be fun to, for each of us, the week after ZZU. Yes. We all get to hang out with Gilligan. But we all create our dream super band. So we'll each pick a lead singer, 2 guitar players, a bass player, drummer, a keyboardist. Vocalist if you want, but we're going to create our own our favorite super band if we could have.
Okay, is that going to be our Wednesday thing?
No, that'll be the after Z. Next Tuesday Z. The following Tuesdays will be that, and then we'll get into your top 10.
It's like our sorbet to cleanse the palate.
Yes, exactly.
Before we head into the other ones. All right.
So we're gonna so we do Z next week.
Z next week, then the
And
following
we do
week.
the following week.
I tell you what, at some point there, since we're putting together our best band, maybe we could, put together our worst band, like Richard Harris and stuff
And
like
Weird
that.
Al Yankovic. No, wait.
I was going to say, if any of you say Weird Al,
Oh, I did.
So
you're not a music. You're not a fan of music.
I do. I like
wait,
Weird Al. I saw his movies. What was that?
UHF.
UHF.
That was silly.
That was great.
And wasn't there a documentary on him too?
Yes,
'Cause
there was
I
one.
saw
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
too.
Yeah, with Harry Potter. Yep.
Yeah.
How about the worst band of all time? The worst rock and roll band of all time.
Oh man.
Ooh,
I got one right off the top of my head.
Which one is that, Chris?
Well, then he won't have it.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
take
You
it.
can't give it away
Okay,
now.
okay.
Yes, it'll ruin the
Yeah.
fun. So, well, now tomorrow we turn our attention, guys, to sad songs. And again, as you might have heard if you were listening, and probably weren't, I have to travel to Hershey today, and it's going to be a late night, so I'm not sure what my status is. I have my list. It's right here. So I'm going to show you guys so that you believe me. And I have 12 songs on. I've pared it down now to 10. And if I get a chance here, I'd like to record it, but it's going to be touch and go because I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to. Chris, you disappeared. Oh, there you are.
I'm down in the weeds, man.
I know.
You don't have to record it. Just as long as Bill has it or something.
Yeah, and I got to write it.
Wait a minute. That piece of paper that you held up said tomorrow's forecast.
Yeah. And it's eggs, tomatoes, milk, bread. What's that?
We don't eat eggs because we don't buy eggs anyway. No, it is the list. I swear to you as I sit here, and some of the saddest songs that you've ever heard right here, and that'll be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You guys have your lists ready?
My number one is the opening to the morning show.
Oh, thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
maybe Weird Al would like to do the opening.
It was well produced. It's just sad because I know what's about to come.
Yeah, well, okay. I get you. See, now you offended 3 people out of the 4 here, so hey.
It's like the national
Winner.
It's like the national anthem before a Cubs game.
Yes,
the highlight of the game. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So that's coming up tomorrow, and it should be sad. I have a great mixture. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it tomorrow, so that you know. Instead of having honorable mention, I have 5 rock and roll songs. I have 5 country songs. That's how I'm doing my list with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I won't give you any honorable mention. I'll just say, here's my top 5 in this category, top 5 in this category, and there you have it. Now, I'm not saying you should do the same. I'm just saying that's how I'm doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
That works.
All right. All right. Okay, guys.
And by the way, the weather is really nice here. It's going to be next couple days. It's going to be in the high 70s. And it was absolutely beautiful.
All right.
But then we got a huge, really bad storm apparently coming on Friday and Saturday. They've already started talking about it.
Oh, really? Okay. We had beautiful weather yesterday. It was, 72 or something like that?
It was, yes, indeed.
Yeah, today's only supposed to be up in high 60s, I think. And then by Thursday, I think we get another 70 days. Today, today high around 71. And then 61 on Wednesday and 69 on Thursday, and then we get that storm after that. So we'll see how that plays out here with us today.
It's interesting to know how cold the days are starting out, and then they get so
warm.
Much warmer,
yeah. The temperature jumps greatly. Yes. Yeah.
Does everyone have their Z, by the way?
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had my Z for some time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had my Z for some time.
Xavier here.
Oh my! All right, guys. Unless you have something else to contribute, I'm open for anything here. But if not, we can get back to the show and.
Now I do have a question, Jason. Have we established how many members are in this dream band?
No, it's just something I thought about. I didn't think about having. My original was bass player, 2 guitar players, lead singer, and drummer. But then thinking about yes, I was like, well, we might want to add keyboard also.
A bass player,
Well,
perhaps.
what if I want
Yes.
to?
Oh, yeah.
What about two drums like Grateful Dead had?
I think
do
we're
whatever
just
you want to
standard.
do.
Okay.
Do whatever. Yeah,
It's your
absolutely.
band.
No
It's
rules.
your band. No rules.
Your band.
I'm going to have 30 people on stage.
Dueling lead guitar players.
It's going to be up with people.
Well, that was my favorite band. That's who I was going to nominate.
Favorite halftime show.
Yes, it was, as a matter of fact.
You didn't include those in the used.
I did.
Yeah.
Remember?
You did?
Oh, you did. Yeah, I
Yes,
did.
he
Have that's
did,
one of my
yeah.
favorites.
He had Up With People.
Up with people.
And then he laughs at Weird Al Yankovic. What's up with that?
He also listed them as one of his favorite halftime shows. We did that on a Wednesday.
That might have been it.
Right.
Too.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I had them both.
You did.
Yeah,
You had
I did them both.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one? I mean, I think they did like the first 10.
They did.
Yeah,
They did. That's before they became extravaganza.
Right.
They were always there. Now,
It would be Up With People and whatever local college marching band.
oh, that's
Marching
right.
band.
Yes, yes, it was. I liked Weird Al Yankovic's group, Up You People. It was really good. Jason, you
That would make sense.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I like that.
I'm glad you liked it. Okay.
You laugh. You wait till I announce that Weird Al's going to be my lead singer for my super group. Or at least my accordion player.
He's no Richard Harris, and he's never done the Super Bowl.
Did Richard Harrison do the Super Bowl? No. Oh, okay. 'Cause I don't know. Back in the early
sad
days.
thing is, Richard Harris could sing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he did Camelot was phenomenal.
Yes. Yes.
But it's just that.
God, just shoot me.
MacArthur Park just wasn't the right song for it.
7.5 minutes of that.
I mean, talk about overly dramatic.
Oh my
Come on,
goodness,
Yeah.
it was awful.
Can you imagine? Pepsi presents the halftime show, and the rain cake got ruined in the
That's all it
rain.
is. That's all it is. Now,
Yeah.
did you guys see Beetlejuice, the second movie?
Not
No,
yet.
I haven't here. I haven't seen it
Okay,
yet.
I'm going to forewarn you, the song that they play 2 or 3 times during, and then there's one big dance sequence with it, and that's I don't know if it's the Donna Summer version or Richard Harris, but it is
MacArthur Park.
MacArthur
Yeah.
Park. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So now you have to
Well,
rush
the
out
first
to see
movie
it.
was Deo, wasn't it? The
Yes.
Banana Boat song?
Yes.
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 Yep.
Yeah, I heard it was MacArthur
Which-
Park in this one. Yes.
It is.
Well, the
Well,
crazy thing is,
the Harry Belafonte cover would have been funny.
Yeah.
Or was funny.
Was funny. Yeah.
What's funny about MacArthur Park?
Well, I will tell you this: there is a cake out in the rain, so in the movie.
That's
so.
just sad.
Yeah, well, it's just the way it is.
In the movie, there's a cake out in the road. That's great.
Yeah, there's part of it in there.
That's
so.
great.
And he doesn't have the recipe.
I don't want to ruin the plot or anything else with that classic movie.
I thought that was the plot.
I don't know. The only thing worse could have been if Richard Harris had used Johnny Rivers' backing singers or something.
Wow.
Wow, well, that is
those horrible honking female voices.
Wow.
Chris passionate today.
Yeah, he is. Don't bring it.
We know now who didn't make the cut for Johnny Rivers' backup band.
And by
Still
the way,
holding a grudge, huh, Chris?
here's the deal, though, Jason. If you don't want Chris to come to your part of the island, just flip on that Al Yankovic song record you got.
Hey, that's right.
I want Weird. I'd like Chris on my side of the island. He's got some good
Yeah,
music.
but not if you play Al Yankovic. He's not going to come over. I'm just telling you.
Probably
Listen,
not.
Okay.
Weird Al actually did have some original music too that was good. He found a niche, and he is the best in that niche.
We'll have a Wacky Wednesday theme day. We'll all come over.
Well, no, Vernon wants to do. By the
Wear
way,
Hawaiian shirts.
Well, Vernon wants to do theme Thursdays now that we're on the video, and so that we like pajama day or something like that. So
Pajama day.
Bring your imaginary friend to work day.
The last thing I want to see on Thursday morning is Vernon in his PJs.
Well, and Vernon described his PJs to us. He asked if I wore PJs, and I've already established the fact that I don't. It's just strictly pair of underpants and I'm in bed. Vernon wears.
If I could scratch my inner eye out, I'd be doing it right now.
I didn't say he had to look, did I?
I feel like I need to bleach my brain.
and of course, he wears long pajama bottoms, socks, wool socks, and a T-shirt. I mean, he's fully dressed. I don't know.
And a cap and carries a candle around. It's weird.
That it is. So, gentlemen, it is 7:30.
Sounds like the ghost from Christmas Past.
That's what it is.
I pictured him in the bunny pajamas from Christmas Story.
Yeah, with bunny ears and feet in the pajamas.
Are we sure he's not related to Woody?
No, we're not sure. We're never sure. But we'll know. As Vern will
He's from West Virginia. That's how you know.
We'll know as Vern will tell us when the obituary comes out, because it lists all the people you're related to, and you didn't know you're related to them. So,
I know, and whatever happened to that segment where Vern was going to read the obituaries?
I asked him that the other week. I said, "You haven't brought an obituary in for a while."
Yeah, he used to do that. Yeah.
He used to bring an obituary in. But maybe he'll start doing that. This week he brings Dr. Jeff Ott with us to it, so adds a little class to the show as best as possible. But all right, guys, we're going to hit the road. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you. Bill will talk to you tomorrow if I don't.
Yes,
okay.
Indeed.
All right. Have a great
all
night.
Right, see you guys.
Great day. See you. Thanks for being here. It is the morning show, straight down 7:31, as a matter of fact, and that means coming up the news. First look at the sports with John Freeman, and also we'll look at our local news with Scott Douglas. Of course, we got PA Radio News. NBC News starts it off. Jim Vaughn finishes with the weather. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG. 93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The opening bell rings this morning after a rough day on Wall Street Monday. Pre-market data is pointing to a higher open the day after all three major indexes finished deeply in the red on recession fears and concerns about the Trump tariffs. Ukraine appears to have carried out its largest drone attack to date against Russia. Russian officials say over 90 drones were used to target Moscow in a massive attack that led to the suspension of train service as well as flights at 4 airports. The iHeart Podcast Awards have named the winner for Best Overall Host.
All right, and the winner is Mel Robbins, the Mel Robbins Podcast.
The honor was handed out at Monday night ceremony in Austin, Texas. Mel Robbins has hosted the Mel Robbins Podcast since 2022. It aims to offer listeners advice and inspiration on how to improve their lives. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Greencastle Ace Hardware is expanding again to serve you even better with a larger inventory of in-stock merchandise to select from. Greencastle Ace Hardware is a locally owned, family business with a friendly, knowledgeable customer service staff, always available if you need help when shopping for your hardware needs. Greencastle Ace Hardware is conveniently located at 785 South Washington Street near the fire station. Ace Hardware also offers custom glass cutting, window and screen repair, house and auto key cutting is available. Have a question? You may call Greencastle Ace Hardware at 717-597-7799. Greencastle Ace Hardware is a proud supporter of WRGG.
This is a Radio PA news update. The Middle Creek Wildlife Management Area is now fully reopened to the public after foot traffic restrictions due to the avian flu. The Pennsylvania Game Commission decided to restrict access due to the potential propagation of it. Officials said that the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture continues to advise domestic bird and poultry owners to maintain heightened biosecurity and, if possible, keep poultry indoors to safeguard their health. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has canceled 2 programs that provided over $1 billion to school and food banks for buying local food. This includes $660 million that schools were counting on for 2025. The Local Food for Schools and Local Food Purchase Assistance programs have been cut, ending funding for food banks and child care facilities. USDA officials have said the programs no longer align with agency goals. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey criticized the decision, saying that the state would lose $12 million meant for school districts, calling it harmful for families and local farmers. Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has been arrested after the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his involvement in the war on drugs. He is accused of crimes against humanity for overseeing crackdowns that led to up to 30,000 deaths. The 80-year-old Duterte was detained at Manila Airport after his return from Hong Kong. The ICC's investigation covers killings from 2011 to 2019, including extrajudicial executions in Davao City and nationwide. Finally, Pennsylvania State Police seized 28 dogs from a home in West Hazelton Borough. The authorities confirmed that during the search, they found evidence of animal fighting, including crates holding up to 19 dogs inside the house and 8 more in a shed. Another dog was found running loose. The animals were taken to Griffin Pond Animal Shelter and then to the ASPCA. An investigation into the dogfighting ring is currently ongoing by authorities. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
There was a time when every small town had several local family-owned auto dealerships. Greencastle still has one. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, just off exit 3 of I-81. Home to a large selection of pre-owned vehicles. Something for every budget. All pre-owned vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection. When you drive away, you'll know your ride is safe and dependable. You may check out their inventory online at antrimhonda.com. And while your vehicle is being professionally serviced, you can relax with some great refreshments in the cafe at Antrim Way. Antrim Way Honda, a much appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. New exercise tool at a local park. Tell you about that in a minute. Well, fires continue to be a problem in the tri-state. Washington Township, Franklin County, has issued a burn ban. They issued that yesterday morning. According to the Washington Township Police Department, all open burning is banned in Washington Township. Starting yesterday, the ban for residents prohibited from starting and maintaining open fires without township approval. Approved fires must be in the vicinity of a water supply. Anyone responsible for a fire is also responsible for any damages during the ban. Meanwhile, the Franklin Fire Company in Chambersburg is urging people in the area not to burn until conditions improve. It's not a ban, but it is highly suggested. Meanwhile, after a short ban in Maryland, Washington County has lifted its burn ban that started about a week ago. Speaking of fires, yesterday morning there was a car fire at the intersection of Blue Spring and Corner Roads near Mercersburg. The MMP&W Fire Company was on the scene. They put the fire out. There were no other details. In other fire company news, the Greencastle Rescue Hose Company regular meeting is tonight. It'll include the memorial service that was postponed from last month for members that passed away in 2024. The meeting starts at 6:30 with a meal, and the program begins at 7:30. On Monday, Pennsylvania State Police arrested a man from Tennessee on attempted murder charges. During a high-speed chase on southbound I-81 in Franklin County, Bobby J. Wilson allegedly rammed his car into a police cruiser, causing the trooper to lose control, run down an embankment, and roll. It happened near the Marion exit. The trooper was trapped until EMS rescued him. Then, after crashing his vehicle, Wilson and his girlfriend passenger ran to a nearby home until troopers found them hiding in the attic. Wilson was charged with attempted murder of a law enforcement officer and various other offenses. The two remain in Franklin County Prison. In his monthly report to Greencastle Borough Council, Mayor Ben Thomas Jr. writes about a recent visit to Alliance Elevator Company on Nova Drive in Greencastle, talks about the recent Rescue Hose Company training, and other topics. That report is available on the Greencastle Borough website. So you need some exercise and fresh air without running or riding around a track or a trail? Hustle on over to the Antrim Township Park on Grant Shook Road and try out one of the new stationary bikes. There's a couple of them. They're free to use, and they track your distance, speed, and calories burned. They are for use for those 13 and older. The story is online in the Echo Pilot. This is Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG. Get pedaling.
Franklin Hospice, a nonprofit provider of hospice care and end-of-life services, has been licensed in Pennsylvania and is now open to serve patients and their families. This organization also operates Hospice of Washington County, which has built a trusted reputation of quality caring for over 40 years. The team at Franklin Hospice consists of nurses, social workers, CNAs, chaplains, volunteers, and bereavement staff. They will work with the hospice physician and the patient's primary physician to offer a number of services, including managing the patient's pain and symptoms, assisting the patient with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual effects of dying, providing needed medications, supplies, and equipment, coaching the family and caregivers how to care for the patient, and providing bereavement care and counseling to surviving family and friends. Franklin Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide support. For more information, call 717-504-3465 or visit franklinhospice.org, a nonprofit organization.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
Round 2 of the PIAA State Basketball Tournament gets underway this evening with 3 Franklin County schools still alive. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. One of 3 remaining local schools will be in action this evening as the round of 16 tips off. In the boys' single A bracket, the Shalom Christian Academy boys will hit the road to face District 1 champion Chester Charter Scholars Academy. That game will be played at Central Dauphin East High School in Harrisburg, beginning at 7:30 this evening. Shalom Christian Academy advanced to the second round of the state tournament with a victory last Friday over Lourdes High School of District 4. The Flames won that game 62-40. The winner of this evening's game will advance to the state quarterfinals on Friday, where they will play the winner of Bethlehem Christian and Sankofa Freedom Academy. The 2 other schools still alive, the Chambersburg boys in 6A and the Shalom Academy girls in AA, will play their round of 16 game tomorrow. The spring sports season continues to ramp up as the Blue Devil baseball team will be in action this afternoon for their first preseason scrimmage. Greencastle will host Gettysburg in a matchup scheduled to get underway at 4:15 this afternoon. Also, the girls varsity softball team will be at home for their first preseason scrimmage. That matchup will also get underway at 4:15 as the Blue Devil girls will welcome Spring Grove Area High School. The spring regular season did get underway on Monday for the Chambersburg boys tennis team as they opened up the regular season with a 4-1 victory over Northern York. Chambersburg won 2 of the 3 singles matches and both doubles matchups. Chambersburg's number 1 player, Ian Flores Sanchez, won his match, defeating his opponent 6-love, 6-love. That's a look at sports for a Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
Greatest Hits USA. Hey, this is Chuck Matthews on Greatest Hits USA. This weekend, right here.
Fridays at 9 p.m., Saturdays at 4 p.m., right here on 93.7 WRGG.
Greatest Hits USA.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Dry weather into Friday, showers Friday night through Sunday. For today, sunny skies, high around 71. Tonight, partly cloudy, though around 43. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high around 61. Wednesday night, increasing cloudiness, though around 44. And the outlook for Thursday, becoming partly cloudy, high around 69. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. Currently 40 degrees with the humidity sitting at 80%. Record high for today. That was set back in 2021, at 79 degrees. It was 2 degrees in 1960 for the record low. Average temperatures for today, 29 to 49, and the sun will make an appearance at 7:28 in the a.m. It'll set at 7:13 in the p.m., and that will give us 11 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. That's pretty doggone good. We'll take that right now. Again, it's 40 degrees, 93.7 WRGG on the web at WRGG.org. I'm Greg Hoover. Bill Gore with me as well. Bill's here for a little bit more. The police chief coming in at 8 o'clock as Jason Patistik will be with us. And then that's how that'll work out for the rest of the day. Bill, I am handing you my list of sad songs. Very nice. Let me turn your microphone on. That would be helpful there. So there, like I said, there's 10 there, and some will seem familiar. Others, well, I think they all will be familiar. But and then I did point out my number one sad song overall.
Yes, indeed.
The winner of the bunch. Probably not much different. I did take one of mine off that you probably have on, something from Merle. But there it is. So you have it for tomorrow. And if I do get out of bed at 7 o'clock, which is highly doubtful, you'll have the list for me and we'll be ready to go. So
very cool.
All right, very good. Let's see here. Oh, it is time for this.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid is as stupid does. Stupid is as stupid does, sir. Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
And people are crazy.
All right, here we go. Actually, here's the stupid ones. And by the way, Elisa Parsons sent this first one in. We already hit upon it a little bit in the beginning of the show when we were doing some headlines. But number one is man accidentally shot by dog in Memphis. Now, there's more to the story than this. In a bizarre incident in Memphis, Tennessee, a man was shot by his dog while lying in bed. Gerald Kirkwood reported to police that he was with a female friend when his 1-year-old pit bull, Oreo, jumped up onto the bed. The dog's paw reportedly got caught in the gun's trigger guard, causing it to discharge and graze Kirkwood in the thigh. Now, I got to tell you, I'm not an expert on guns. Evidently, the guy had a gun in his bed. Chief Jason Patistik is here, so, you would be an authority on this. How many incidents of a dog shooting a guy have you ever run across?
This is the first one I've ever heard of.
Okay, all right, darn. I was hoping you had a great one for that one. So
I wish I did.
Yeah. Now my question is, why is the guy laying in bed with a gun? That doesn't bode well for his backup story somewhere along the line. So
no, that's not a very good tactical spot to have a handgun in your bed laying with you.
No. And evidently, I'm going to take a wild guess. The safety wasn't on because I don't think the dog could have. Now, I was sort of hoping the dog was like, all right, I'm tired of this stuff.
Where's my Elpo?
Yeah. So, yes. You're not going to feed me, then this is what's going to happen. Number 2 today, 30-year-old man from Illinois has been arrested after leading law enforcement on a chase in a stolen ambulance in Central Texas. Hard to hide that. The incident occurred on Monday the 10th when Grant Saline called for an ambulance from a hotel citing a mental health issue, then drove off in the vehicle upon its arrival. Deputies tracked the ambulance and a brief off-road chase took place before Saline crashed into a tree. He was apprehended at the scene. By the way, by the way, Chief, what we do is we have Stupid as Stupid Does as the name of the segment, and I'll read 5 stories, and we'll go back and pick the stupidest one.
I like this segment.
I thought you might.
Yes.
I thought you might. Number 3, a woman.
And by the way, it usually involves, but not always, often involves, I should say, stupid criminals.
Yes. Yeah, most of the time it is, yes. A woman was recently arrested in Florida after attacking a man with a can of Pringles. That's I said, okay, and possibly causing him, get this, permanent disfigurement. She is accused of 1 count of aggravated battery. The incident occurred on Thursday at a 7-Eleven in Orlando. Deputy arrived in response to a call about a physical fight at the store. Victim, a man, told the deputy that a male approached him and made a comment to him about his vehicle. Then inside the store, the victim asked the defendant if she was with the man who had inquired about his vehicle. The victim told cops that the woman eventually struck the man with a Pringles can and took off running. Cops said she claimed the man in the 7-Eleven was saying rude things to her and being disrespectful. It doesn't say anything about the. I want to know what was the permanent disfigurement to the guy. I don't know why, but it did. That's number. Oh, wait, here's another Pringles can. I thought it was the same one, but it's not. Wow. Los Angeles County Deputy Sheriff is accused of smuggling heroin into a jail facility in a conspiracy with gang members using a secret code and Pringles chips to move the drugs. Deputy Sheriff Michael Miser was arrested last year for allegedly smuggling heroin into the North County Correctional Facility. He is accused of bringing over a pound of heroin hidden in Pringles cans into jail. 2 imprisoned Latino gang members are accused of using coded language to communicate with him, with one of them using coded language to have $6,000 transferred to his brother-in-law's Cash App. And they thought it through, didn't they? Number 5, a nightclub partier was detained by German police after they caught her trying to snort drugs off the top of their unmarked patrol car. Has that ever happened to you, Chief?
That's not neither.
No. Okay, a lot of stupid is, stupid does. Number 1, here we go. Number 1 was a man accidentally shot by his dog in bed. Well, he had a lady friend with him, too, by the way. Yeah, the lady friend was laying him. She wasn't injured.
She didn't blame it on the dog.
Yeah, it must have been it. Man leads police on chase and stolen ambulance. Number 3, Pringles can attack. Number 4, Pringles can smuggling operation. And number 5, cop car used to snort drugs. So what we do now is we try to figure out which one was the stupidest. So that being said, Bill, you any choices yet?
I don't know. I'm looking at them. The Pringles can one. I need to know more about that third one. The fourth one actually just was just goofy.
Yeah,
I think the fifth one would have been really stupid if it was a marked police car.
Yeah.
That would have made it.
That made it.
Which we have had stories like that before. But I've got to go with the dog shooting the guy.
Chief, where are you at on this one?
I am right there. The dog intrigues me.
It does intrigue me. I could just hear the dog after the gun went off.
So now he's a cartoon dog.
He's a cartoon dog. Well, only cartoon dogs would do that. I have to go with that one, too.
I want to see the dog at the shooting range.
So, number 1, dog shoots the guy. I think there's more to the story here.
Did it say where he got shot at?
Told our society why he was in bed relaxing and talking with his female friend. Dog owner has not been identified. Told police. Wait, we just said that one. Also went to the man home for accidental injury. According to press release, the dog jumped on the bed, got his paw stuck in the trigger guard, and ended up hitting the trigger. Let's see here. Police said first responders arrived on the scene, were able to clean the man's wound. Doesn't say where. Okay. Before taking him to the hospital in non-critical conditions. Officers were able to locate one spent shell casing on the floor, but the man's female friend allegedly left the scene with the gun following the incident.
Got to cover up for the dog.
Yeah. He's my favorite dog. I don't want anything happening to him. He's going to dog prison. I don't know. So there it is. Stupid is as stupid does here on the morning show. We do this most mornings right at this time. So, tune in and listen, and you can participate as well with that. And that being said, it is time for us to go to the birthday club. I will tell you, as previously recorded, Bill, I know you're going to head out down the road.
Sorry to say.
Chief's going to stay with me. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Greencastle Police Department, and that's all coming up after the birthday club. 93.7 WRGG. And speaking of someone, well, he's just sad. Just sad.
The birthday club. Everybody celebrates the birthday club on WRGG.
Starting back in 1738 with the birth of Benjamin Tupper, Continental Army officer who fought during the French and Indian War. He also assisted General William Shepard in suppressing Shays' rebellion, and he helped settle Ohio. He established Marietta, Ohio, the first permanent settlement. It was then known as the Northwest Territory. David Horsley was born this day in 1873. He was an English-American director and producer who founded Nestor Film Company, which established the first studio in Hollywood. He then went on to co-found Universal Pictures. Shemp Howard, born this day in 1895, American actor and comedian, member of the Three Stooges, of course. Birth name was Samuel Horwitz. Shemp was Moe's brother, and he was a member of the Three Stooges from 1923 to 1932, and then from 1946 to 1955.
They were around a long time, weren't they?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And poor Shemp, I mean, everyone loved Curly.
Right.
Shemp sort of took his place. Wasn't Shemp's fault. Curly had a stroke.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, if you get hit in the head that many times with a hammer, you're going to have a stroke. It's quite obvious.
1898 saw the birth of Dorothy Gish, American actress, star of silent screen, along with her sister Lillian Gish. Her stage acting led to her induction into the Theater Hall of Fame. Her films include Orphans in the Storm, An Unseen Enemy, and Hearts of the World. 1903 saw the birth of Lawrence Welk, American accordion player, band leader. Of course, he hosted the Lawrence Welk Show, which ran from 1951 to 1982. He and his wife Fern were married for 61 years, from 1931 until his death in 1992. 1926 saw the birth of Ralph Abernathy, American minister and activist. He was a friend and mentor to Martin Luther King Jr. and a co-founder of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. 1934 saw the birth of Sam Donaldson, American journalist. He was on ABC News from 1967 to 2013, White House correspondent from 77 to 89, and then again from 98 to 99. Bobby McFerrin, born this day in 1950, American singer, songwriter, producer, and band conductor, 10-time Grammy Award winner. Of course, best known for his big hit in 1988, Don't Worry, Be Happy.
They always list him as a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
But he
was
so much more than that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Jerry Zucker, born this day in 1950, American director, producer, and screenwriter. He directed Airplane, Top Secret, Ghost, which was actually Best Picture nominee, as well as Ruthless People and First Night. Jimmy Iovine, born this day in 1953, American record producer, businessman, co-founded Interscope Records and Beats Electronics. That was with Dr. Dre. Started as a sound engineer working with John Lennon and Bruce Springsteen in the early 1970s. He's been involved in the production of over 250 albums. It's amazing, too. You go through your collection, you see his name on so many.
Yes, not knowing that, yeah.
Anissa Jones, born this day in 1958, American child actress. Of course, she was Buffy on Family Affair from 1966 to 1971. She was also in films like The Trouble with Girls. That was along with Elvis. Of course, died of an accidental drug overdose at the age of 18 in 1976. Peter Berg, born this day in 1964. He's an American film director, producer, writer, and actor. As an actor, he's appeared in films like Copland, Late for Dinner, A Midnight Clear, Collateral, and TV Chicago Hope. As a director, he's directed Spencer Confidential, Mile 22, Patriots Day, Deepwater Horizon, Lone Survivor, Friday Night Lights, and The Rundown. Thora Birch, born this day in 1982. American actress known for playing Jack Ryan's daughter in Patriot Games and Clear Present Danger. Other films include All I Need for Christmas, Hocus Pocus, Alaska, and Ghost World. She recently had a recurring part on The Walking Dead. But Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do. Not a big list today, however, it's still an important list. There's two listed for today. Catherine Kate Cradell with a birthday today, and Paula Gray is celebrating a birthday today. See Kate or Paula, tell them happy birthday. Tell them where you heard it, right here at 93.7 WRGG on a thing we call the Birthday Club on the morning show. Well, we don't call it all that. We just call it the Birthday Club. And if you'd like to get involved in the Birthday Club, the easiest way to do that is to go to our website and fill out the information provided there. It is seriously that simple. Get your name on so we can help celebrate your birthday right here at 93.7 WRGG and the Birthday Club. It's the Birthday Club, 93.7 WRGG. We'll try to get that on the air one more time. That's coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, right before the news at 9 o'clock. Coming up, Birthday Club. Remember, all you got to do is go to our webpage and take care of business that way. Drop-down screen is there, and you're set and ready to go. I'm Greg Hoover, and joining me today here on the morning show, as he does every month, at this, what is this, the second Tuesday or the first Tuesday, Chief? I don't know. Second Tuesday, there you are. Chief Jason Batistic, and we'll talk a little bit about the police and all operations going on with that. And we are going to take a break for the news at 8 o'clock and see what's going on that way. And I don't know why that's not working, but that's okay. We'll worry about that at a later date. Anyway, so, Chief, is that the summer uniform you're wearing?
It is. It's going to be a beautiful day out today. So
yeah, as long as you're wearing the summer uniform, it means summertime still here or coming up or whatever. So
cannot wait for the warmer weather to
continue.
It's
Great. Now here's a tough one of those hard hitting questions. How many sets of uniforms? I mean, do you have a winter uniform and a summer uniform?
Well, our pants are the same. We have long sleeve, short sleeve, and of course our winter coat. So pretty traditional style uniform.
Yep.
It's always good to get the short sleeves out.
Oh, it is. Now, do you say there's not a time where you can't wear the short? They can wear whatever they want when they want, or is there a
generally the end of March?
Yeah.
Depending on how the weather goes, is about the transition time.
Okay. All right.
Being 72 today, I think it's supposed to get up to.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I think it's good for mental health to put the short sleeves on.
It is. Now you don't have prescribed hats per se. We have baseball hats.
We have the baseball coverage.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that what you had in Hagerstown?
We did.
Okay.
And the beanies. We had our traditional, 5-star hats too for our honor guard type
Right.
stuff.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't wear those on a daily.
Yes. Very good. I remember there was a time when they did, but
there was absolutely.
Yeah, but it's better this way. I'm positive on that one. I'm sure you think the same thing. So
it makes it much more comfortable.
Yes, very much so. We'll find out a little bit about the drone program he talked about last time when we come back right after the news, top of the hour, NBC, and then we'll do the weather forecast for you. All that's coming your way right here, 93.7 WRGG in the morning show.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Serving Greencastle, Antrim, and southern Franklin County. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio. I'm Michael Kastner. The opening bell rings this morning after a rough day on Wall Street Monday. Pre-market data is pointing to a higher open the day after all three major indexes finished deeply in the red on recession fears and concerns about the Trump tariffs. Ukraine appears to have carried out its largest drone attack to date against Russia. Russian officials say over 90 drones were used to target Moscow in a massive attack that led to the suspension of train service as well as flights at 4 airports. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries expects Democrats to vote against the spending bill proposed by Republicans. Tammy Trujillo reports.
Jeffries said during a Monday news conference the bill is something they could never support.
House Democrats will not be complicit in the Republican effort to hurt the American people.
He added the bill does nothing to protect Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Republicans are expected to bring the bill to the House floor on Tuesday. Without a new spending bill, the federal government would shut down on Friday. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
The 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards have been announced. Jacqueline Carl with a recap.
iHeart Podcast of the Year goes to Las Culturistas with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang.
The duo started hosting the series in 2016. And for the news,
Pivot
is hosted by tech journalist Kara Swisher and New York University professor Scott Galloway. Best overall host.
The Mel Robbins Podcast.
It aims to offer listeners advice and inspiration on how to improve their lives since 2022. One of the most popular true crime podcasts being honored for Best Overall Ensemble.
My Favorite Murder with Karen
racks up 35 million downloads per month. The ceremony took place in Austin, Texas, Monday night.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Right here in hometown Greencastle, you'll find always fresh, home-style salads made the way you like, prepared locally in their very own kitchen. That's Branded Meats and Deli, 102 South Antrim Way in Greencastle. Macaroni, potato, red-skin potato, cream slaw, coleslaw, and others. Looking for something for lunch or enough for the entire family's evening meal? You'll find it all at Brandon Meats and Deli. Having a special event, Brandon offers a large catering menu with a wide variety of options, including setup and serving your guests. They are open Mondays 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Tuesday through Friday 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., and Saturday 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Brandon Meats, helping to support the programming of WRGG.
We at Tracy's Orchard would like to remind the community that we are now open year-round with our many varieties of apples, peaches, and other tree-ripened fruit. Tracy's Fruit is also available at Country Breeze on Route 11 in Marion, and will be pursuing other retail outlets. Tracy's Orchard, another proud sponsor of Community Radio WRGG.
Country music is coming to the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. Forever Young, starring Kip Callahan Young, returns to the Capitol Theater stage Saturday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. in Ladies of the 80s. This nostalgic-infused show honors country music's most popular female performers of the 1980s, featuring a multimedia concert of songs and stories to fill your heart. Celebrate the music of Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton, The Judds, Tanya Tucker, and more at the Capitol Theater March 22nd. Beer, wine, and concessions will be available. Tickets are available at thecapitoltheater.org or from the box office by calling 717-263-0202. This show is sponsored by A&K Settlements, LLC.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Dry weather into Friday, showers Friday night through Sunday. For today, sunny skies, high around 71. Tonight, partly cloudy, though around 43. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high around 61. Wednesday night, increasing cloudiness, though around 44. And the outlook for Thursday, becoming partly cloudy, high around 69. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
40 degrees in downtown Greencastle, sun shining brightly, humidity sitting at 78%. 79 degrees in 2021, that's the record high for today. 2 degrees in 1960, the record low. Currently, the average temperatures for today between 29 and 49. We're in the middle of that right now. 7:28 in the a.m.s when the sun came up. It'll set tonight at 7:13 p.m., 11 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. Again, 40 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
And now, The Morning Show on 93.7 WRGG. And on the web at WRGG.org.
Welcome back to hour number 3 of the morning show here on a Tuesday morning. It is the second Tuesday of the month, and that means the monthly visit from the police chief, Jason Batistic. Jason, again, thanks for being here today. Always a pleasure to have you.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Yes, beautiful day outside, so I know all your patrol officers will say, I'll walk today. I'll walk the streets.
It's a great time of year when spring comes around.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, Chief, you've been with us how long now?
Since November of 24.
Okay, November 24, and some exciting news coming for you. Last time we talked last month in February, you said you're looking at a drone program. I guess is the best way of saying it.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so how's that progressing?
Fantastic. At the last Borough Council meeting, beginning of this month, Council approved the purchasing of a drone through a company called DroneSense. It's a software program that we're able to use for training, documentation, software updates,
right?
The whole purchasing, everything. So that is exciting news. Exciting.
It is. Now, how many pilots will you have?
We will have 4.
Okay.
2 officers, our police administrator, Erica Faith, and myself.
Okay. Have you ever flown a drone?
I have not.
Okay.
It is a pretty intensive program to get your Part 107 licensing through the FAA.
Yes.
We are taking an online preschool right now, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just to get us prepared to take the FAA test.
Right.
In Hagerstown here, probably. I'm anticipating probably by next month having the test taken by them.
Okay, very good. Yeah, those tests aren't all that easy. I at one time I had my learner's permit, and that part was the hardest part of it somehow.
Well, there's a reason why I'm not a meteorologist.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of different terminologies you have to get familiar with when you're not familiar with things. So,
right.
It's just the learning environment.
It is a learning curve, and you'll get it. And so again, you talked about it last month, but what will you be using the drones for?
Well, it's going to be It's going to be absolutely for public safety.
Right.
When we have a missing child, when we have a missing elder adult,
right.
If there is a tactical issue, we need to use the drone for. I was speaking with the sheriff yesterday, Sheriff Seitz. If they are serving a warrant and need something from us, we can put the bird in the sky and get some aerial vision for that. So it covers a whole wide variety of things that we can use it for. Erica's going to use it for code enforcement as well. We are not going to be out just randomly patrolling around. That is not part of the program.
Yeah.
It will be for strictly, investigative purposes only.
Okay, very good. Sounds exciting. And so, if you see a drone in the air in the next couple of months, it could be. It's not going to have red lights on, so you're not really.
We will be putting red and blue lights on it.
Oh, okay.
They will be flashing.
Oh, great. Then I take that back. Yeah.
So
know it is.
So
yeah.
you're gonna know if you see it up there.
Yeah.
It's just not some random drone flying around
Right.
like they had in New Jersey a few months ago.
Yeah. Yes.
So it will be noticeable.
Okay, very good. That's exciting. We'll look forward to that and updates on that when you come back next month as well. So, second big news, you were telling me before we went on the air, the Borough Council approved something that you had asked for in advance, and lo and behold, here it is.
Yeah, we had a meeting with the Public Safety Committee, and I gotta tell you, Greg, those gentlemen are a pleasure to work with.
Good.
I went in there presenting something for an anticipation for a 2026 budget for the tasers. When I outlined our current tasers and inventory with those, they believed it was a public safety issue
right
now.
Yes.
So the appropriate measures were taking place. So we are purchasing 3 new Taser 10s through Axon. Just to give you a little background on why we're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we have the Taser X26s. It is a great tool for law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
However, Taser stopped manufacturing that particular Taser in December 31st, 2014.
Oh,
so it's,
okay. Yes.
Pushing 11 years ago.
Right.
They still function fine,
mm-hmm.
but the repairs on them, the update on them are dwindling. We don't have that accessibility anymore.
Right.
So
I would have to think new technology would make the newer ones better.
They are. They fine tune. They hone in. They make them more adaptable for law enforcement, more accurate, more distance for deployment issues.
Right.
The Taser 26, you had to be about 21 to 26 feet from that person.
Right.
The new ones, you can go back to 45 feet.
Wow.
So a little bit more tactical advantage.
Right.
It's going to be fantastic for the officer.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, we should have them in, I would think, probably sometime next month.
Yeah.
Axon is sending 2 certified instructors to Greencastle. They are going to train us on them, give us the 411 on the system, and make sure everybody is up to date with that. So very, very exciting news. I'm glad to see that.
Now, unlike your service weapon, each officer does not have one. They grab that when they go on duty.
Right. It is. Yeah. It is a kind of like a round robin.
Yeah.
We will have 3 Taser 10s. Generally, we have 1 to 2 officers on per shift.
Right.
So that they can cycle those around through.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be. They can be individually assigned to an officer, but they don't have to.
They don't have to be. Very good. And of course, do they go? I know with the guns, you have to go through research and you have to spend some time. Do they do the same thing with the tasers?
Through our yearly in-service training,
mm-hmm.
You have to have basically a little refresher on the taser, and there is a deployment on them to actually do some training. They have training probes that fire out that aren't the live probes,
right? Just
to make sure you're fine tuning your shot placement and your verbiage. So when you deploy a taser, you will hear an officer say taser, taser, taser.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for another officer to know this is going to be deployed,
right?
And for that suspect to maybe have a rethought.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Or at least brace yourself.
Right.
One of the two.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, it's always been I don't know if it's the myth or if it's true or not, but that you have to be tased yourself before you can use a taser.
In the olden days,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
You needed to have a deployment.
Yeah.
Now it is voluntary.
Oh, okay.
But when I was up at the academy and we tased our cadets,
mm-hmm.
I strongly encouraged them. This is your opportunity in a controlled environment,
right,
to literally see what you're going to do on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a chance that if you deploy that taser, if you're not the one deploying it, and if you get close to those wires, you can feel the effects of it as well.
Okay.
If you touch those.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to be able to know in your mind that yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
inflict some pain there. It does hurt. It's
Yeah.
meant to, but you can function once you relieve yourself from that.
Okay.
It's same with pepper spray. If you never experience it, you should experience your
Right.
first time experience. It shouldn't be when you're fighting with somebody.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Yes. So
sometimes you get people that just no thank you.
Yeah.
But it's that's their decision.
All right. Okay. Very good. So that's that one. All right. Let's talk staffing. You have a goal of getting everything and Borough Council and everyone else to full staff. Are you getting there?
We have 8 officers, including myself.
Okay.
We have including myself. We have 5 full-time officers, and we currently have 3 part-time officers.
Okay.
We will be advertising here shortly for the position for another full-time police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be coming out, I would say, very in the near future.
Okay.
So we anticipate having that new officer on sometime after beginning of July.
Now, when you hire an officer, do they go to school then, or do they have to have gone to the school before?
We will hire both ways.
Okay.
Most of the people we get already have the Act 120 training.
Okay. Because that's intense. It
is. It's
you taught that, so
it's 20 almost 23 weeks. It's
Mhm.
919 hours. It's almost 6 months.
Yeah.
It is an intensive program. There isn't a lot of investment that a municipality, a borough puts into that person,
right?
To get them trained. I like the fact that you get a younger person who's going to the training. The big reason is you get to have that evaluation process for a lot longer.
Right.
Because
Right.
I get to have the monthly reports from the academy, how they're doing
Mhm.
academically, physically, mentally.
Right.
And you're doing that for 6 months.
Yes.
And then when they come to me and they go through their field training program, I now have that additional time. So you
Right.
get to know your officer a lot better.
That makes sense.
That
That makes sense. So-
Hopefully we get some young men and women that are interested in law enforcement that
Mhm.
would absolutely want to go through the academy, and,
Right.
and that would be great.
Yes, very good. So that's you're advertising already for it, or you
It
will
should be coming out here shortly.
Okay, so if you're interested, and you're still hiring part time as well.
We are hiring part time. Absolutely, we are always open for part time.
Yep. Okay, very good. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Greencastle Police Chief Jason Patistik, and been on the job since November, and doesn't seem like it seems like you just started, but
I tell you what, Greg, this has been an amazing transformation
Mhm.
from the academy to here.
Yes.
My wife and I talked about getting back in law enforcement. There was some reservations there
Sure.
after a quarter of a century in the city of Hagerstown.
Yeah.
But this has been fantastic.
Good.
I mean, the community here is amazing.
Mhm.
I cannot say that enough.
All right, very good. Now you're gearing up for Old Home Week, which
Absolutely.
I don't know if I asked you this last time, but I'll ask you again. When you've lived here for a while,
Yes, in 2004.
yeah. So were you at previous Old Home Weeks?
I had came down. I did the normal come down, get something to eat,
Yeah.
walk around a little bit. You're there for an hour or two or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And then you go about your day.
Yeah, okay.
This will be my first
Yes.
week-long Old Home.
Yes.
So that I'm looking forward to that.
It's a little different than just visiting and coming down. Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things. I love that week. My wife gets mad at me. Can we do this? No, it's Old Home Week.
That's right. Right.
What happens if I go to a hospital during Old Home Week? I'll visit.
Right.
I'm not going to be there all the whole time, but I'll visit. So,
Right, yeah.
but it's a big time. I tell the story when I was a youngster. We lived with our grandparents, and they had kids. One lived in Florida, one lived in Oregon, another one lived in the Harrisburg area, another one was Greencastle, two were Greencastle. But the 3 from the Outliners, they all came in that week, and we all stayed in the house that week. It was just
It's amazing how many people
Yeah.
come back for that, and I'm glad they do.
Yeah.
There's something unique about this little spot of Franklin County that needs to be preserved, and it needs to be appreciated.
Yes.
Well, it's a unique geographical area that needs to be preserved.
A lot of times, and we say this all the time on the radio program, we're so used to what's here, and even in nearby. It's like I use the Gettysburg Battlefield a lot of times. I go to Gettysburg. I used to go a lot more. Well, they're back in the league. They were in our athletic league, then they left. Now they're back. But you go there for games all the time.
Right.
But you never go to the battlefield because it's so close.
Right.
Yeah. So,
right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what else is happening police-wise here in Greencastle, Antrim? Greencastle? Anything exciting besides because you did the three big things there with staffing and
nothing
tasers.
exciting. We're out there doing our daily patrols.
Yeah.
Walking downtown, being part of the community, making sure we're seen.
Yeah.
My goal is to be a very transparent department, a very open department. And if you're able and you need our assistance, whatever it may be, we will try to do everything we can to satisfy you, with your issue or problem.
Okay, I'll go back. I want to go back to tasers a minute. Are they used often?
They are not. They are a very good,
deterrent
tool for to be a deterrent.
Yeah,
I mean, it truly is.
Okay,
but they are very effective.
Mm-hmm.
When you deploy that taser. It saves the liability of an officer using excessive force.
Right.
It saves that officer from maybe potentially getting injured and that suspect.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good tool for law.
Right. Along with that, how busy is the police department? I look at the logs from the rescue host company, and they're going all the time. It's
Right.
an amazing amount of time. How about for your situation?
We handle right around 400 calls for service a month.
Okay.
So
that's a lot of calls.
It's pretty good.
It's not Hagerstown City calls,
it's not the city, but it's a unique little. And the calls we're handling are a lot of how can we help you calls.
Yeah.
People call in with some issues. Maybe they had a fraud scam. Maybe they had something like that, and we help them out. We do assist with the ambulance crews when need be. That's always good. But right around 400 calls of what we're handling each and every month.
Is there a time frame that most of those come in?
Daytime is
daytime's the busiest.
The afternoon that noon to 6 will be your busy time.
Okay, all right. So the overnights aren't so bad.
Overnights aren't so bad.
Yeah.
It's people go to bed.
Yeah.
And people go and go to work in the morning.
Yeah. Hopefully they do that. So so there's the busy time. That again, that's a lot. I will say a lot of calls. If you stop and think about 400, but I know when I know the EMS crew appreciates when the police roll up on the scene as well. So
yeah, they're out there, and I have to see. I saw a transition in my own career.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, you had your ambulance crews, CRS in Hagerstown.
Right.
They came out, and then they transitioned where now you're seeing paramedics wearing bulletproof vests.
Yeah.
That's something to be said. So when they go there, they also don't know what they're walking into.
Right. Very true.
And it's, we need to be there for their safety as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to be mindful of that. So I never thought I would see the day that I would see a paramedic wearing a bulletproof vest. And I understand why they have to,
sure.
But God forbid something will happen to somebody like that's there to save and help you.
Right. So that is good that you show up and help out with that as well. So we reduced the speed limit on Baltimore Street. How's that going?
Well, enforcement is a little tricky. I mean, we know that municipalities don't have access to radar.
Right.
But we are monitoring that. We are driving up there to making sure that we're seen. We have deployed our radar signs that are the motion that let you see what your speed is.
Right.
We're going to keep on cycling those around on probably either every week or every other week basis on various locations. We put it in Baltimore Street. We put one over by Clary Field. Baseball season started. My son had his first rookie league baseball practice last night.
Exciting times.
So he was anxiously nervous and excited. So it was.
They're fun times.
But we left Kaufman Field last night. I said, buddy, how'd you like baseball? I said, I really like it.
Yeah.
I said, I knew you would. So anxious to see that happening.
Yeah,
so.
That's a lot of fun. I find myself it's difficult coming down Baltimore Street because I'm not used to it, and
Right.
And I will tell you that the flashing sign helps a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
At least it draws your attention.
Right.
Even though it's not an enforcement measure.
Right.
At least it's letting you know, hey, your speed is this. You need to slow down. It's right now we are there just for that deterrent.
Right.
If enforcement is kind of difficult, but we want to make sure that we're observed and seen. And obviously, we can still take action if we see speeds that are unsafe.
Right.
And go from there.
Right. So, quick question on at 81 at exit 5, which is Baltimore Street. A lot of times, right at the red light, either not you personally, but Greencastle PD or the state troopers are sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of that, people say, what are they sitting there for? So
they're observing traffic.
Okay.
You can see. A lot of them have the LPR system, so any traffic comes through, it would give a notification
License plate reader,
if there's
yes.
an issue.
Yeah.
Or observing inspection stickers.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you'd be surprised how many people drive by and shows visible signs of impairment.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just being parked at that little spot and somebody's driving up, you can recognize those things.
Right.
So it's all for traffic enforcement and just showing that we're out there.
Yes.
And that's
really,
and that helps slowing people down as they coming into the borough itself.
Right.
They see the cruiser there, whether it be us or PSP. It helps them be aware and cognitive of law enforcement in the area.
I just got a text about the signs. I will see when I see those signs, I feel like I need to aim for the high score. No, no, Bill, don't do that. So, but we were talking about enforcement of speeding, and of course, you do not have radar, which is the easiest way in the world to do
Right.
that. Will that ever happen? Do you think?
I hope it does.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade.
I know it is.
And
when you were in Washington County in Hagerstown, were you allowed to use radar?
we had radar and laser.
Okay.
It was a fantastic tool. If somebody would call in as a sergeant with HPD,
Mhm.
if somebody would call in about traffic enforcement concerns in their small little street,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I could deploy an officer to go down there at that given time with the radar unit or the
Mhm.
laser unit, and they could observe that and get real-time information
Right.
and enforcement now.
Mm-hmm.
Municipal police officers do not have that availability in Pennsylvania
Yeah.
right now. I hope that's available for change.
So how do you now? Is the laser a part of that? When we say radar, you can't use laser either.
Neither. Yeah,
Okay.
neither.
All right. So what? Besides observation, seeing someone going down that you know is going too fast, how can you?
Well, you see the white lines on the road.
Yes.
Those are distance space.
Okay.
Generally, right around 100 feet, and we have a stopwatch.
Yeah.
And when an officer sees the vehicle cross the first line, they click it.
Mm-hmm.
Second line, click it. It gives you the time it took you to go that distance, which is calculated on a speed.
Okay.
Which is calibrated every 60 days. We have a company comes in, they calibrate that to make
Right.
sure that it's operating proficiently, and then the officers can enforce that. But you can't put lines
Everywhere. No. No.
So they have
every
to be
tendency, yeah.
strategically placed, and everybody knows where those lines are.
Sure, it's
radar
not a secret,
radar
yeah.
would help out
Yeah.
tremendously.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Well, maybe that's a thing that will occur. Hopefully, in maybe your lifetime of law
Maybe.
enforcement here at Greencastle.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. So to have that one, it makes it very difficult when you don't. And I've seen the lines and the thing in operation. Matter of fact, I think that's it's interesting when they do the bicycle races during Old Home Week. They
Right.
were implementing stopwatch in that
Right,
way. Yeah.
right.
And now, does the stopwatch record in miles per hour?
No, it gives you a
second.
seconds,
Okay.
which gives you the calculation of the speed.
Okay.
It is calibrated for that distance, and
So you know if they go 5.7 seconds, they're speeding or something
it
like
gives
that.
you
Yeah.
that calculation there.
Yeah.
So it's a good tool.
Yeah.
But it's not as effective as a laser or radar.
Right. Get that. So.
But with the radar units we put out, it also gives us data,
Mhm.
amount of traffic that has passed it on a given time.
Right.
It gives us some speeds of vehicles.
Yes.
So we're able to report back to council that X amount of vehicles. This was the
Right.
average speed.
Yes.
These are some of the speeds. So we have a little bit of data that we're able to collect to see Is it a big problem?
Right.
Is there a certain time of day that the speeds pick up or go down? So we're able to calculate this. So that helps us with our enforcement of when we need to be seen in that area. If we're seeing between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, speeds are a little bit higher, or vice versa in the morning, we can go up there and kind of focus our area in that time.
Very good. Lisa Parsons texted in. She goes, "Who makes that decision about radar?"
Pennsylvania legislation.
Yep.
Yes. So that is up to our legislators to pass that to give authorization to municipal police. The only entity in the state that's allowed to use radar is Pennsylvania State Police.
Right. They like it for themselves? Is that what?
Greg, I wish I had a good answer for you.
I know.
But I do not.
There's got to be a reason beyond what I can understand, because it doesn't make much sense not to give you all the tools that you need.
There's a proven tool that is out there that's successful, and they're really not expensive.
Well, I was going to ask that question next. Yeah.
Yes, there is an expense to them, but
sure.
It's not like it's tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And they last as long as they're calibrated, as long as they're maintained. They will last for years.
And it's not maybe quite the same thing, but I know people can buy radar equipment, baseball, speed picture.
Right, absolutely.
And so if they can afford it, obviously it can't be overly expensive, something like that.
Absolutely.
So, Chief, we're down here at the bottom of the hour, and we appreciate the time that you spend with us. Is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to cover?
Greg, you're very thorough. I appreciate it. I truly do enjoy coming in here. This is a great segment. I like reaching out to the community.
Yes.
And I like how you're getting some texts.
I do too, yeah.
That is great, because now they're getting real-time information back as to if they need to get a hold of their legislators and see what they can do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the great part about living in this country.
That is. Chad Reichert's the person you need to call right now. And he has an office, I think, in Waynesboro. And just pose the question why it is the way it is. So,
right, absolutely.
Right. Well, we'll see you in 1 month, if not before. Well, we'll see you at Old Home Week meetings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
and
you.
around town as well. So,
absolutely.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break for news at the bottom of the hour. We come back. I'm going to hit the road too, as I got to get out of here just a little bit early. But the birthday club for you coming up in just a few minutes, right here, 93.7 WRGG.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next. WRGG LP. Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. U.S. and Ukrainian officials are holding talks today in Saudi Arabia in an attempt to get a ceasefire in the years-long war with Russia after Russia invaded Ukraine. Start of the talks, which are not being attended by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, came just hours after Kyiv launched its largest drone attack on Russia to date. The stock market is having its worst start to a presidential term since 2009. As of Monday, the S&P 500 had fallen 6.4% since President Trump's inauguration. The tech-heavy NASDAQ has shed 11%, and the Dow has fallen over 3.6%. One of the most popular true crime podcasts is being honored with the iHeart Podcast Award for Best Overall Ensemble.
And the winner is My Favorite Murder with Karen.
My Favorite Murder racks up 35 million downloads per month. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Hey, Ben, having car troubles?
My car's not running right. Me back on the road again.
I know where you can take it. Dixon Service Center, 260 North Carlisle Street in Greencastle. They're beside the Jerome King Playground. Go see Dave and Paul Dixon for all of your complete auto and light truck repairs. These guys have been doing it since 1977. They can do almost anything. On the road again. If your vehicle is giving you troubles, they're the ones to see. Call Dave or Paul at 717-597-2010.
I'm Ben Thomas Jr., and I approved this message.
Dixon Service Center, another fine sponsor making the programming of WRGG possible.